Carry the computer up here, Nate. Okay. Hold on. What's happening with the audio? Hang on a second. Yes, hello?
I'm here, sir. I'm just setting up my other screen for Photoshop.
Yeah, man, no problem. We have a work day today.
Yeah, man, I know, because the class before told us that we're going pretty much work on the assignment, right?
Right.
I did the model already, so I have it.
All right, good stuff.
Yes, sir.
I only have one thing to show, basically, and then we'll.
All
What
right.
are you saying?
I was saying I finished the first part, so I pretty much have the SketchUp model and I have the JPEG image. I'll go into the Illustrator part tonight, but and just see if I can finish up. But the only part I would need the real help with is the Photoshop.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, today in the first class we probably spent like about less than half an hour on it, because remember,
pretty much, it's the same thing as the first exercise.
Right, but
so what we're doing.
Give you some tips.
Yeah.
As we go, right. So, what are you saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remain online and let some more people, some more persons coming in. Right.
Class is starting.
Hello, people.
Yeah, it's on.
Sir?
Yeah?
I have a problem with my model. It's transparent and all the furniture are going through the ground.
It's transparent. There's an option in SketchUp to turn on transparency.
Yeah, but I didn't turn it on. It was white at once, but all of a sudden it got transparent.
Oh, okay. Well, I can help you with those.
And everything is going like the furnitures, they don't sit on the.
Well, what you can do, you can use the section tool to kind of see inside the building better, or you can kind of navigate your way into the building. You know what I mean?
It's but can I for this class, can I put it in Photoshop, continue with the work, and then put it back in SketchUp? Is that possible?
Well, I will show you how to begin to set that up. So, in an sense, you can move from SketchUp to Photoshop, but not come back into SketchUp with the Photoshop file, naturally. But you can keep going from SketchUp to Photoshop.
Meaning I can do the work and edit whatsoever I need to edit back in.
You can update. You can is it update? Yes, you can basically drag and drop You can set it up so that you can make a change in SketchUp and drag it back into Photoshop, and it will come back in with all of the your enhancements lined up perfectly.
Okay, sir.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I have a model here that was donated. So this is what we're going to use. So I'll only be showing you maybe one thing new, and then everything else is probably just tips that you'd need. You might see one or two persons coming back into this class from a previous class. You know, they tell them they can come back if they need a refresher, or if they have a question they need to ask. But remember that this is due Monday, so this is our last class before it is due. So ideally, I would want this to be a working class, and we just dedicate the time to work on the model. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to use about 20 minutes or less to show you how you can get the model into into Photoshop, and how you can you can set it up. So if you need to go back in SketchUp, you can just, like update that Photoshop file. But everything else that you need, for example, the reflection, if you need to cut out something, using the lasso tool, those are stuff that you can do. And, one advantage of all of this work remotely thing is that you can always just go back to the video that was done to look on that. Oh, you need it now. Okay, so how many people do I have here? I have 7 people. Okay, just continue working. Let some more people come in so I can just explain this thing once. You say you were having a challenge with the transparent thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me share the screen. Got it. Right. So remember, there are 2 reasons why your model will go transparent. Remember that you can change the style. Remember this over here, which is your default tray, and then you have your styles tray here. You can actually change the style of how your model is displayed. So this is the default style that will show your materials. And for this particular building, the edges were turned off using the edit section of for the style panel. So for surfaces, you note the default is to show shaded textures, but you could also change it to X-ray mode. And in X-ray mode, everything is transparent. You see that?
Yes, sir, but
I don't know if it's that mode you use, or there is another mode where it is wireframe mode, and that will only show you the wireframes. And then there's another mode here. If you turn it on, it will show you a shaded transparent mode. Is it this one?
No, sir.
Oh, none of this?
Hold on. No. Give me a second, please. Let me try it.
Right.
Let me
So
spin the
when
model so I can.
okay, so make sure
It
that you
has.
are on this one that shows display shaded and material and textures. And that one now will show everything. And you want to make sure you turn off X-ray mode.
Okay.
So
Let
it
me
looks
try.
all right. Okay. So hopefully we'll see some more persons come in. But if not, then I'm just gonna show you how to remove the model. Okay, guys. So any more trouble? Everybody else is pretty much okay, it seems.
Stairs, then what, sir?
No, I'm saying if there's any more trouble, if anybody else experienced any more trouble.
This is Alexandra speaking. Going to styles and then what?
Oh, well,
Edit?
yeah, when you go to styles, you go over to edit. So you want to make sure X-ray mode is off. X-ray mode will make everything transparent.
See, man, I do it then. Class.
Right, class start that. Afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I say it for look.
Well, this was a donated model, so not quite. I see some interesting elements here that, well, I guess, yes. Yes, it has the windows. I mean, this window is upside down, but this is a good model. It has furniture inside. You can see that. And it has the transparent material. So this is a pretty good one.
Right, sir. Next, I ram class needed in.
What do you mean? Didn't we all get the same handout?
Sir, and I eat this. And I eat this.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Sir, yo, sir, when me can get the material, like, me can't find nobody fit save down the thing them for me now.
Well, guess what? If you want to get the material and your SketchUp doesn't have it, then what you have to do is make it. So for example, when you go to the material sections here, if you're not seeing all of these materials down here, what you would do is go to this create material button. And when you click that, you will get this dialog box here. And how you create a material is you name it, you can choose a color, and then choose where you want to get the picture that would be the material. So it's going to allow you to browse your computer. So for example, I could browse to, I don't know, this location here, and I could choose this, or I could download some material. In my case, I could go to my texture folder, and maybe I could get like this brick here, and that's it. It's the material is now there, and I can save this as concrete. And I choose OK, and that's it. And it now comes up in the list. Here it is. So now I can use my paint bucket and actually apply that to my wall. You seen that?
Oh, all right.
If I wanted to change the size of it, then what I could do is double click it to edit it. And here's the size here. So I could make it twice the size or 3 times the size, 800 by 800. And look, see, it resizes the tile that you can see here. So you download this from the internet and you create your own material. All right?
All right, sir. How me get the tree and the...
Well, this person went ahead and got 3D trees. So they got it from Google Warehouse. I mean, that's okay. But the way how I showed you is to use billboarded trees, which is to find a picture of a tree, a PNG, and drag it into SketchUp. But this is just fine. But what happens is that this will put more strain on your computer because you can see that it's actual 3-dimensional.
No.
You can see that?
Yeah.
So because it's 3-dimensional, it's a little bit more heavy. So anyone will do as long as you put foliage there or some kind of entourage, then you would have checked that checkbox. All right.
So we have to put in the furniture and everything there, because as I tell you, I'm not a 3D warehouse, you know.
It's a website.
Sir, remember me tell you, I have 2016.
All right, you can't save it down. All right, if you ultimately can't get it, then just carry it in as a Collada file. It's just that the Collada file is a little bit annoying to work with. I mean, but I'm sure you have some very kind-hearted classmates here. Right, Alessandra, right, Aldine, right, Kelly. I'm sure if you download a 2019 model, send it to them and say, can you please save this down for me? They will be happy to oblige.
What are you saying, Candy?
Who say that, sir? Who say that?
Sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so like we have a couple of persons here. I just need to show you one thing so that you're now able to place your model into Photoshop, right? So don't worry, I won't be bombarding you with new stuff today. I'll just show you this one thing and then the rest of the time is just working. All right, now if you look on the website,
Sir, about the furnitures in the ground, they're actually in the ground. Half of them are in the ground. The bottom part of the body of the furniture.
Yeah, so if they're in the ground, remember they are component objects, so you can move them, right? So for example, if this was your furniture here, and I'm just using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Right. If this was your furniture here, you click on it like that, and then you're able to move it by using the move tool. What I would do is I would perhaps use my section tool. Can you request me? Okay. I don't see a request. I will perhaps use my my section tool, which is here, and start there. Call it section 1. Whoa, it's big. There we go here. Okay, it's okay. I would use my section tool there, and then I would use my move tool. And I would just kind of cut the section there. So now I'm able to easily see inside the building. I can always delete the section tool when I need to.
Okay, sir. And where's the section?
Where is the
Section 2.
Oh, that's this tool right here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sir. Sir, one more problem. Yes, sir. My wall. I don't know what's happening to my wall. I am trying to push and pull, but sometimes it just stuck around.
If your wall is not pushing and pulling, that means it's not aligned properly.
It's not aligned properly?
Yeah, it's not aligned properly. So you had 8 minutes remaining. So I'm going to give you 8 minutes to finish up the Imagine Maths. Allow. Go.
So you're kind of low.
Yes. Yeah, if your walls are not pushing and pulling, it's because something is lean. Remember when you're drawing those walls and you see those colors come up, the red, green, and blue? When you're drawing, you have to ensure that your walls are always perpendicular. But guess what? Like how there's a lot of persons here, I just want to take a break to just show you guys how to get the model into, or the recommended way to get the model into Photoshop. All right, so I'm going to remove my section line. Okay, good. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to set up a style where there is no colored background. So you would go to styles, you'd go to edit, and you would go to ground and sky, and you want to make sure that your ground is white. Is it white? Yeah. And make sure that your sky is also white. Let me use the H. Max it out. Right. So everything should be white. So therefore your background should be fully white, preferably. All right. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to head over to watermark, right? That's under the style panel and under watermark. And then you're going to look on the website. There is a section there. No. Here it is, under Entourage Components. So you're going to go there and you will see a folder called Backgrounds. So you're to choose one of these backgrounds. Now remember, your model needs to have reflection in there. So wherever you place your model, make sure you place it somewhere that it will generate reflections, because that's a part of your criteria. So I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick this one here. This one here is one of my favorite. So I'm going to download this background. And I will download that to my desktop. Here we go. And then how this works is you go to the styles and you go on the edit and you go to watermark settings. You're going to go to the plus button and you're going to add the background here. And it's going to come up like that. You're going to see this dialog box come up. You can ignore the name and you're going to choose background. And you're going to go next, and you don't have to change any of these settings. And go to just ensure that the aspect ratio is locked. That is important, but the default is for it to be locked. And you're going to choose finish. Now what you're going to do is position the building using this background by zooming in, out, and orbiting. And this is how you get this building to be nice and aligned to your image. Now, remember, once you get it nice and aligned, this is not what you will be giving me. The only purpose of this is so that it allows you to align your model. All right? It would be much more difficult for you to guess how your model is to be oriented and then carry it into Photoshop and realize that it's not aligned properly and then you have to come back and go forward. So doing it this way, it allows you to align it in SketchUp. And that's the only purpose we use this background for. Now, here's the important point. For those of you who possibly will need to come back to SketchUp to edit and go back into Photoshop, you need to save your view. Because after you have the perfect view like this, you know, you might move your camera and then you might have to set it again and then it might mess up the alignment in Photoshop. So what you need to do is you need to get the perfect view first. If the perspective isn't right, you can adjust that using where are you again? It's under view. It's on where you go to camera settings. Field of view. Here we go. You can go to field of view and you can actually change your field of view so it's more more skewed or not. So, this looks like about it. Here we go. Then when you have aligned your view perfectly, what you're going to do is you're going to go to view, then you're going to go to animation, and you're going to go add scene. And when you click that, what it will do is save this position and everything, and you will see a name come up the top, scene 1. So now if you move it and you pan and you zoom and you come back in the file, you can always just click this scene 1 icon here. Let's let it load. Right, you can just click this icon here and it will just go exactly as how you left it. So this is how you come back into SketchUp to go back into Photoshop if you want. Now, once you aligned your model perfectly, it's now time to save it to carry it in Photoshop. So to do that, first we need to get...
Sir, question.
Yeah.
Sir.
You move fast.
Yes, sir. You're moving. Yeah.
I'm still at the watermark section.
Okay, right. So
Sir,
go to the watermark section. I want all of you to drag in your background. So go
sir,
to...
or you get the white background.
The white background is still under styles. You just need to go to styles and then go to sky and go to background settings and then turn off your sky and your ground basically and make sure your background is white. Okay?
Background settings.
Right, it's under styles.
Sure, I have that, you know. Oh, under edit.
Under edit, that's right.
But mine are white, mine gray.
It doesn't matter. Just turn off sky and background and then, sorry, turn off sky and ground and then set your background to be completely white. You finish? Let me see. Where your computer is on?
Fuck color.
Send me a request one more time.
How would it? Sure, I'm not getting no white, you know. It just gray. Try sort that out the comment. Alright, are you bringing the thing now, sir? The image? You go.
Send me a request one more time, please. Yeah? Okay. So now, everybody got up to this point?
I mean, with the
So what we do is change the background to white and then we'll go over to the next icon, which is watermark settings. And that's where you add, you select your background image that you want to use.
Sir, I don't know what happened, but it's like everything is zoomed in and I can't see the background at the bottom. Like the only thing I see is plus and minus.
Yeah,
And then I
man, it's
can't go
me,
down
zoom
anymore.
it in. You're talking about my screen? Mine, you're looking on my Zoom screen, you know, instead of your screen.
Hello?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was saying that I can't see anything except for the plus and minus, and I can't go down anymore.
Well, now you're talking about your SketchUp?
Yes, sir. I don't know what happened. It's like when you have the plus and minus, I can't scroll down anymore. See thumb name or the model or the watermark itself.
No, man, hold on. You sure you're not looking on my Zoom screen full screen by mistake?
No, sir. I'm looking at my screen. I'm on
No,
this.
sir, he said he can't see anything. He's looking at your screen. He's saying he can't see the thumb, the money space, and the and he's just seeing the plus and the minus. That's what he's saying.
So, okay. You're talking about, okay, so and you're referring to my screen that I am demonstrating to you. Or you're talking about your screen that you're working from.
I'm talking about my screen. My screen.
So it's like it's zoomed in?
Yes, sir.
Like you, okay, well, the shortcut to zoom in and out in Windows is Windows, right? Go Windows key Control plus and Windows key Control minus. So I don't know if you might have done that by mistake somehow.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay.
Okay. That's what I always used to zoom in. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, probably did by accident.
Okay.
Yeah, no, sir. Yo, somebody can send me the background them. I can't download them. All the while
No,
me
why you
can.
don't have it? Yeah, I
All
don't
the
know.
while me can't get your file them from them thing. I understand.
I don't know at all. That is very weird.
Me download anything.
In the browser, but you can't download them?
No, and I always hear full of them.
Sir, wait a now. We must click on back.
No, you had time today. Go and talk to mommy. Look, this is how much you got today. If you want more, do more work. Hello?
Sir?
Yeah, man.
Who are you talking to?
Repeat that. I'm not hearing you.
So you're talking to us?
No. It was just
Oh,
my son.
okay. Yeah, I was saying no,
Uh-huh.
must click on background after click on watermark.
Right. So click on when you go to watermark, and then the background that you have downloaded, that is the one you're going to choose. You choose the plus button. And then change it to background, not overlay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's a next thing that says background, blend, and image.
Yeah,
I'm
ignore that. Just go next.
All right. Finish. All right. Well, I get it, but now I look faded.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. So now remember, the only purpose of this is to align your building. So has everybody aligned their buildings? You want to
Sir,
align it in a way that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it to you.
sir, I'm having, oh, never mind.
So how you move the pic? Like if you want to move the
If no, you can't move the page. When you say the page, you mean the background?
yes, sir.
No, you move the model. The background remains stationary.
Okay.
All right. I have a next question now.
Okay.
So I have shadows enabled, and right now the shadow is like on top of the image.
Oh yeah, man, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
okay. That's okay. So let me turn on shadows to so it looks like yours. Remember, you can always modify where the shadows fall by using the values down here. There you go. So there's the shadow. My shadow is dropping on top of the building. You can also choose a color, so we can make it darker. And or we can make it lighter and so forth. Okay. So that looks like it's sitting on top of the water, right? Of course, it doesn't look real. So that's where the Photoshop comes in. Okay, ready? So can we move forward? Remember, this is a recording, so you're going to be able to like skip, you know?
Sir, this should be uploaded tonight.
Yeah, man, repeat.
This should be uploaded tonight.
No, man, you have until Monday. That is when it's due.
Okay, sir.
All right. So, okay. So now that you have everything lined up perfectly, you're going to now turn off the background. So you're going to delete it. Press the minus key. I think you can also disable it. But anyway, just delete it. So now you'll be left with just the model. And then now we're going to go to save as. And we are going to go, sorry, not save as, export. My bad. You're going to go to file and you're going to go to export 2D graphic. And you're going to save a PNG file. I'm going to save that to the desktop. Oh, remember to go into options and make sure you check transparent background. and give it a nice resolution so it's nice and big. Right? So you don't want to use view size because your screen might be small. You want to choose this.
Sir,
And
how me move the background?
how do you?
Move the background. It's too big.
Well, you can't. You're not moving it. You can only move the You can only move the building. So let's change your background if you don't like it. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to choose OK, and you're going to choose export. And that's pretty much it. Now the rest of this, you guys should tell me because you should already know, right? So let's hear some volunteers. I'm going to open
Photoshop.
Photoshop. Come on, Photoshop. Why are you taking so long? Oh, it's because I have Unreal running. Ooh, okay. All right, so once it's open, so what do I do next? Remember, you know this part already?
So you make a sheet.
Good, make a sheet. So I'm gonna go to File and go to New. And I'm gonna go letter size. Choose
Landscape.
Oh, landscape. So I'm gonna go to image and go to canvas, go to image rotate and go to 90-degree clockwise. So there we go. Now what do I do?
All right, so now you go on file and go on bring it, like go on what, insert new or something like that.
Place.
I can just simply drag the image over.
Right. So you go to file and you go to place. So we're going to go to place embedded. So I have the image on my desktop. Here it is. I'm going to go to place. Right. Choose OK. Or you can drag it in, and then I'm going to make this big. So I'm going to maximize it and keeping the aspect ratio notice. All right. I'm going to leave a little white space for trimming, and I will put it like there for now. You can always trim it down afterwards. All right. How do I place the model there? No.
This is import.
Same thing again. So I can go to here and I can go to place embedded. And then I'm gonna choose, here we go. And it's right there. And I'm gonna make it the same width as the image. There we go. So even if the height don't work out, I'm making it the same width because that will get us exactly in the position that we had it in SketchUp. But now we have complete control over the model versus the background. So now,
rasterize image.
Well, okay, we could rasterize it. Let me minimize this a bit. All right, but what we need to do now is that, yeah, we could rasterize so that we can now cut and all of that stuff. But here is an interesting thing for you guys asking about the model. Notice that this is a smart object, right? Everybody seen that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you know that when you rasterize it, it's no longer a smart object. It doesn't have that container. Remember the car that we did?
Yeah.
And this is a tip. What you can do is, let's say you're back in SketchUp, and let's say that you didn't want these flowers here. Let me create another object. Let's say that you wanted to do another.
Excuse me? Are you playing games in the Winston class?
There.
Sir, quick question.
So,
Sir.
Yeah, hold on, I'm coming. Okay, so let's say that we wanted to do, hold on, are we going to see it? Because the view was like this. Oh, crap, I should have done it on this side. Yeah, ask the question in the meantime.
You do stretch to fit image when you bring in the watermark.
Repeat.
When you bring in the background in a SketchUp.
Yeah.
One of the options you press fit to stretch to fit.
Leave everything default, and just go next.
All right.
Yeah. Now let's say we had made a modification like this. So remember we had saved our location, so we can just go back and choose scene 1, and it will just give us back exactly what we had before, which is great. So we're going to do the same thing again. Oh, we should have done it with the shadows on. Oh boy, that means the shadows going to change. Oh man. So when you save in your scene, you want to make sure you save it at the absolute last. So, you know, I'm going to overwrite this again. So I'm going to go to view animation. I'm going to update scene so that way I know that it's updated. Good. So same thing again. I'm going to get rid of the background, and then I'm going to export 2D graphic. Then I'm going to replace what I have here. So now when I go to Photoshop, I can, and this is the important part, I can just right click this and choose replace contents. And you can only do this as a smart object. And I'm going to choose this now. And voila, it's fully updated. Everybody see that?
No, sir.
Me not see no Ogwa, you still left on SketchUp.
All right, don't worry. The recording will be there, so you can look at the recording.
I talk about recording, no more thing we have to do. Oh.
But remember that was just a tip in case you need to go back and forward in SketchUp. You can just update the image in Photoshop as long as you keep it as a smart object and you don't rasterize it. Okay, now the things that you need to do in Photoshop are things that you did to the car, right? So you need to add a reflection, right? So I'm not going to go over that again because you guys should know to do that. Instead, I'll focus on some other things. Now, when you are completely satisfied with the model and you know that you don't have to go back into SketchUp, then you can always rasterize it. So as a matter of fact, I would recommend that you duplicate the model. This is another tip. So you kind of keep a backup version. So I'll call this backup, you know, just in case. and then I will now rasterize this version here. So now it's rasterized, I'm able to erase and all of that.
Sir, quick question. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's just me, but I'm still seeing your SketchUp screen right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
So
really?
look how long me I tell sir that
Hold on.
we just see a Photoshop screen, you know.
Yeah, it just turned Photoshop.
Oh man.
Sorry, you've been at work in a SketchUp.
Hold on.
And that happen when you have too much screen in front there, you know, so you think you show it, and you dip on the next one, and now you not
No
show it.
man, I'm wondering if it's the internet speed, because I am seeing what you are supposed to be seeing on my screen, but of course I am not going through the internet. So I'm getting it one-to-one. So hold on, is it that you see the mouse moving by itself now?
We not see nothing.
Sir, it's just frozen on your Photoshop right now.
Okay, no, but hold on.
All right, we see it moving now.
Yeah, but it was nothing had changed.
I don't know what happened.
Sir, you freeze about 10 minutes now.
Renzo, email me
Yo,
I
the
don't
background
know.
file them now.
alright, well, I don't know then.
So hold on. So when I was changing like the model, were you seeing that?
No, sir, no.
No, sir, we're not seeing it. That's why I was wondering what you're talking about.
So you see my mouse move smooth now, right? Let me go back to SketchUp.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
well,
moving now.
When I'm rotating now, you're seeing it now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know what happened? It's probably the internet connection dip at that point.
Oh, okay.
Maybe my upload bandwidth dipped, and I don't really notice that on my end. So I think that is what happened. Okay. So what I was demonstrating, let me see, what would the recording do? Oh, the recording would be okay though, I'm sure. Because the recording is real time, it's not based on the bandwidth. But just to show you again, what I did was give you a tip. This is a bonus tip. If you are confident with the model and you know you don't have to go back into SketchUp to change something, then you can rasterize and continue editing. You're basically doing the same thing you did with the car with the first exercise. However, if you are in the middle of working on your model and you believe that you might have to go back and forward for a while, my recommendation is you don't rasterize it. You keep it as a smart object, right? You keep this layer as a smart object. And then when you go into SketchUp, you can make the adjustment. So for example, I had done this extrusion here. So I'll do another extrusion. So let's say that I am adding a interesting space here. All right, you guys are seeing, right? It's not freezing.
Yes, sir, we're seeing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still all going.
So let's say I added that space there, and this was a modification I made. Then in order to line up back my model exactly where I left it, I can just go up here and click the scene one. And then that will give me exactly what I had before, but with the updated model. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to turn off the background. I'm going to go to File, Export 2D Graphic. And then I'm going to replace the 2D graphic that's there. And then when I go to Photoshop, it's not going to update by itself. What you need to do is on the smart object that you placed, you're going to right click it and you're going to choose, you have to pick the right one now because there's a lot of options. You're going to choose replace contents. And you're going to choose what contents you want to replace it with. You're going to choose back the same model. And then voila, see, it's updated and in the same position as before. So that is how you go back and forward. That's a good tip, basically. So you don't have to keep, placing and moving and placing and moving and so forth. Now, when you're confident that your model is good, then you can rasterize, but I recommend that you still save a version of the model and call it backup, just in case you realize something missing, you know, you have to go back, you know, just in case. So this is my rasterized version of the model. And remember, when something is rasterized, you can now go for your eraser tool and you can erase it and do all of these things, right? So maybe one of the first things you want to do is to fix up that shadow, because that shadow is looking a bit solid. So you might want to grab your eraser tool.
But sir, why would I put shadow in the water?
Of course, you still have shadow and water. You still have it. It's just that it's very transparent, but it's still there.
But
So
sir, that not trying, you have to go fade out that shadow there a lot.
right. So that's why I'm going for the eraser tool.
You
And
better,
then what
it's
I would
best to just
Put
do
the
the
opacity.
reflection.
repeat.
I say you're going to go to opacity, right? And then just shade it out.
No, but if I go to opacity for the layer, then the whole thing will be transparent.
Get the lasso tool.
Well, yeah, you could cut it out. You could cut it out and, you know, and work with it by itself. Some persons import it by itself.
Put the hardness to 0.
Put the hardness to 0. Then you want to put your flow, not opacity, but rather flow. I like the flow better, to all the way down to like 4 or something. So that way, now, when you erase, you have to rub it a couple times for it to erase. Maybe that's too much. And it's supposed to realize now that you should have made the shadow black. Then you'd have to go back in SketchUp and make it black. Let me put the flow down to like 1. Here we go. So you want the shadow to be like almost completely gone, you know, because it's water that it's on. There we go. Yeah. Now, the other thing you want to do is to do your reflections, and I'm not going to show you how to do that because you guys did that already. I'm just giving you tips and things that
Hold on, where you say now,
you
show me,
do not
sir?
know how to do. The reflection.
Wanna know how to do that?
Yes, you do. You did it in exercise 1. And guess what? Luckily for you guys, the recording is there, right? I will show you one tip though. How do you feel?
So we duplicate the layer and mirror it down.
Right. That's along the right lines. Now notice here. Now this is what I'm going to be looking for your guys' drawing. I want a reflection in this glass. Right? Now, you know, by right, I should make you guys figure out how to do it by, because you're taking a little bit of the reflection in the glass, in the same method that you use to get reflection in the water. You're kind of tweaking it a little bit, but I'm going to give you a tip. What you can do is, I will go to a new layer. Or no, I don't have to go to a new layer. What I will do is on this layer, I'm going to use the lasso tool. And I'm going to trace over this glass area here. All right. Now this person put the tree in front of the glass, so that gives them a bit more harder work. So, you know, you're going to have to like cut around the tree. You understand? But it's a reflection, so you don't have to worry too much about it being spot on. Because you're only getting the reflection here. Okay, so this is 1. There we go. You can see the marching on. So you have 1 selection. Then you're going to hold shift and you're going to do the other side. So I'm going to just cut that straight. Doesn't really matter. Only because it's the reflection. Good. Now, once it's there, if I turn this layer off, you notice you're seeing the selection still there, right? Everybody seeing that?
Yeah.
So what I can do is move this somewhere else, like, you know, over here. And then I can just select the background layer and I can Control C to copy and Control V to paste. And what that does, it has cookie cut. Everybody seen that?
Yeah.
The background. So if I turn on back my layer here and I put this up front, then I can have this inside And of course, I want to adjust my transparency a bit. Or what you can do, so you see that's looking like glass now. Or what you can do is mess around with your transform modes. For those of you who want to go a little bit more radical, you can mess with your transform mode and your opacity at the same time. You get a nice kind of mixture. You seeing that there? So it's not an accurate reflection, but you know, it can pass. So I'm going to be looking for you guys being able to show a reflection, show that you can see inside, and show the reflection in the water. All right. Don't forget your entourage, whether it's a boat or a plane or something, you need to show a reasonable entourage. So no Martians or spacecrafts or aliens. All right. Okay. Okay.
So why we have to add entourage, sir? Suppose you just want the building the right, there's a float boat.
But I have a criteria on my grading sheet that says reflection, and another one that says entourage, and another one that says model accuracy and these things. So I won't have any
model.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, a question.
Yeah.
Why we put entourage in the SketchUp file when
You're going to add it out here?
Yeah.
And that's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. It is something that you will need to know how to do. Because if you think about it, there's some entourage that you can only manipulate in a 3D environment. And there is some entourage that is better dealt with in a 2D environment. So for example, if you were adding a bird, it will be better you get a 2D bird.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if you're adding a tree or you're adding silhouette people, it might be much easier for you to do that as a 2D rather than 3D. So, you know, it's you guys need to know how to do both, but you would choose how you balance them.
Sir, so like how my computer can do 3D at the moment. I can just do 2D in a Photoshop and nobody put none in a SketchUp.
No, but I am marking for entourage in SketchUp because you need to know how to do it. You don't have to use a 3D entourage like this person, because this person uses a 3D flowers. Remember, I showed you how to get a 2D billboard in SketchUp? So that's what you would use. And that will use little to no resource.
So you teach you for the 2D billboard?
Mm-hmm.
When? Sir,
you just teach you for the background.
No, I did. And stop trying to trick me into showing you again. But anyway, I will still show you again.
Sir,
if you want to get
question.
a 2D tree, hold on, let me just show you. Here is a folder I have with the 2D tree here. All you need to do is to drag a PNG into SketchUp and voila.
And then you just rotate it.
And then you just rotate it, right? So if you want to get it right, you can drag it onto a vertical surface like this. Come on. Or drag it into the horizon. Yeah, like that. There we go. And it will come vertical. See?
Oh, sir, them tree they only work one way, you know.
I know. But that's okay. It's a billboard, so you rotate it with the camera. You rotate it with the camera. Or you can actually choose an option to make it always face the camera. But you don't have to go into that for this exercise. No,
So
what I want to remind you about something else when you're doing this. If you remember when you were doing the first exercise, you did a little bit of color grading. So notice that the background is a bit dark and your model might be a bit dark depending on the angle of the sun. Remember we did a thing called adjustment layers. So we went to window and we turned on adjustment layers, and that allowed us to, and we chose, here's it, and we chose brightness and contrast.
Mm-hmm.
So what that did was create a layer, and anything below the layer, you can control the brightness and contrast for. So for example, you could put this above the background, And then when you go brightness, it will only control the background. So that's how you can get the background to be a bit brighter. Okay.
Real quick before we move on, sir. So my wife and I was getting in trouble a while ago, and I missed the part where you put the reflection on the window. Okay, just tell me what you clicked on real quick.
Okay. In a speedy replay, what I did was to let me turn it off. What I did was to use the lasso tool and cut around the window. So I'll just do one this time. So I cut around the window like that. So I get the marching ants, which shows that it's highlighted. And then all I did was move it to another location. And I copied, make sure that I'm on the background layer, and I copied and paste, and it will copy what is highlighted in here. So Control C, Control V, and now it has actually pasted a layer of what I had cut.
Oh, okay.
And then I put it back and put it in front, and the rest is history. So these are some tips. I think that's all the tips I want to share. I don't want to share anymore. This is an assignment. It's not an exercise. So you guys are supposed to be doing this on your own with lessons learned throughout the semester.
Sir, our next thing, right? So you see with the glass planes in the roof, do I necessarily have to use those?
Well, yeah, the model has it. When you say use those, wait, you mean if you have to put them in?
Yeah, suppose I want you to put something else in the roof.
No, you have to you have to build a model that you're given. You can change the material, you can change the material. And some people push it a little bit, then change the window style slightly, but that's not too bad. But you can't change the model. Like you can't give me something like this, because this is not accurate to what is in the model.
All right.
But pretty much that.
Sir, you see those glass planes in the roof? Them now work out for me, right?
I know, because they're on a slant. That's what I gave you.
Yeah, man. Right now, I'm gonna do it, and like the inside of my roof gone.
Right. So you have to remember. All right. So that's where accuracy comes in. When you cut the roof, what I'll do is just turn off shadow, because it's this slowing down, and I will turn off materials. It's white. There we go. Right. Remember that luckily with SketchUp you can do things like you could draw lines down here. See? So that way it's perpendicular. So it will actually highlight when it's perpendicular. You have to make sure that as much as possible your lines are perpendicular and what's the word? Parallel as much as possible. Right? Or I could use, if I wanted to, I could use my offset tool here. And offset is here. And then I could use my move tool and adjust this. There are many different ways that you could do this. But when I'm adjusting, notice that you see that green? So I know that I'm parallel. Or if I want to adjust this down here, this one is tricky. There it is. See? You notice that these two lines turned magenta. That means that they're exactly parallel. So these things, you have to make sure that they're perpendicular and parallel, or else you're going to walk into problem when it's time for you to do like a push-pull to push through. Come on. For you to push through, it has to be.
You see that problem that happened just now?
Right? If it is not pushing through, then that means the inside plane of this is not parallel to the outside. But there are different ways you can use to correct this. So for example, you could, all right, this is the inside now. Let kind of zoom back a little bit. If you find it hard to navigate on the inside, what you can do is change your field of view to make it a bit more, to make yourself a bit more small. So you'd kind of be like a tiny mouse inside a giant building, kind of. You know, so that can help you to navigate the space a little better. The pan and look. Right. So if these two surfaces don't cancel out, all right, look. You see that?
Yeah.
That means that it's not flat to begin with. So once one thing is off, it's not going to work out how you want it to be. Now, you can spend your time fixing or just do over. Like me, like once I notice this is so, I would just delete the roof and do it again. And you might say, why choose to do that? Because that is like more work. But it's actually, rather than trying to fix this lean surface here in SketchUp, and this is the problem I have with SketchUp, it's really easy, but once something is not parallel or whatever, it's easy. You just delete it and do it again. And then the next time you make sure say it fully parallel. It's like it will pay off further down.
Sir, that's why I have so much problem now.
I know, but guess what? This is what will teach you the most. Because, for example, I might be marking this and I'm saying, okay, good, you have the roof in. But the experience that you gain from realizing that the inside is lean and all of that, I won't be able to pick that up. So chances are you won't lose marks for this. But you would have known that this is an issue when modeling. So you would have gained that knowledge for yourself. This is why I don't just give you a box to model, because SketchUp gets challenging once you throw angles in there. And if you throw curves in there, it's a whole nother ball game. But I didn't give you curves. But you at least know about angles, because what we realize is that when you go further down in the year, you don't want, because you don't know how to do, because you're trying to avoid an angle building, you're going to change your design. Or because you don't know how to do a curve, you're going to change your design. You need to be able to meet these challenges head on.
So SketchUp retarded.
But it's easy to learn and it's quick. Listen, you see, as long as you are accurate, and I've heard students say this, them say, look, when I tell them, say, look, if something is lean, start over, them laugh after me. Because them say, who going to start over? No, and I'm not saying you have to start over from scratch. I'm simply saying, delete the stuff that you know is off axis and lean, right? And those who do that, they finish much quicker. But the big fish is when you invest in it for like a big thing, like a studio project. And then what you find yourself doing now, because you know these little issues exist, you will ensure that every line is parallel, perpendicular, is centered, is aligned. Make sure say it's pristinely modeled, so that when you're ready to cut holes and push and pull, you don't have issues like this.
All right.
So enjoy the experience.
Is the class done?
Yeah, pretty much. You're not really learning anything new.
So,
but
sir,
it's a working class, so you're supposed to be working.
So, sir.
Yeah.
I think the problem was when I was trying to get, you know, when you put the elevation on top of the floor plan.
Right.
Did you use the walls on the floor plan? Did you raise the walls on the floor plan and then pull the walls of the section? Was that what you did?
Well, I think, yes, I think that's what I did, but I was waiting to hear if you would say something to make sure that you never go down the wrong road. You know that you're supposed to use the dimensions, right? Where you have dimensions, you're to use dimensions. Where you don't have dimensions is where you use the drawing to guesstimate. right? So when you're saying,
But I just use that as, you know, a guide.
right. But as long as you're working with the dimensions, then all of your, for example, if you know that this middle piece here should be in the center of this area here. Let me my tool. Sure. Stop it.
Sir, are you speaking?
I'm sorry, I was talking to the computer. It was misbehaving. if look at this. If I know that where is it? Where's my little tool? Okay, there it is. Right. If I know that this dimension here, right? And this dimension here should be in the center of this, then I'm not going to depend on the model necessarily. I'm going to use mathematics to make sure I get the center point for the roof. You follow what I'm saying? So even though I have the 2D drawing as a guide, I'm not gonna trace the center of the roof here. That will throw you into trouble and make like the center don't line up.
Sir, I use the tape measure thing.
Right, good. All right. But yeah, man, this, let me tell you, with this model, is, I mean, everything is pretty straightforward, but when it gets to the roof, that is the only challenging part. And like every assignment, there's always a part on it that is challenging. So the roof is really meant for you to learn about this thing. Everything else is straightforward. The furniture, you just download them, and the walls are vertical. So I mean, that's no issue really. But the roof is the only little challenge. So enjoy the little challenge, man. All right.
Sir, and the back of the model, it doesn't have a wall. I don't know why.
All right, so you're going to put in a little wall there, and well, I think it's a nice introduction to modeling, because you see people who model like cars and spaceships and monsters and faces. It's a kind of similar approach, but it's a little bit more technical. But it's the same way, the same general approach when you're modeling. Some of you will venture out into doing more custom modeling, like you want to take it a step further and do like, maybe your building have this shell on it. One day you might have a design that have this interesting shell on it, and you want to model the shell. Then you might find that you might have to go further than SketchUp, you know. But you know, this is a little introduction to what you do when modeling. You will either love it and want to go more into it, or you might hate it, you know. But it's up to you. It's up to you.
Sir, what happens when what happens when the wall disappears? Oh, you were saying it was
the styles,
because it wasn't perpendicular or something like
right. If two surfaces are perpendicular, then what should happen is that when you pull it and it meet the other surface, it will cancel out like that. You see that? So I push this wall into here and it cancel out into an opening. That is what should happen. If that don't happen, then that means the walls are not perfectly aligned.
Okay. And if it stop halfway, that means it's still not aligned.
No, man, just push it until it snaps to the other surface.
No, that's happening to mine right now. It's stuck halfway. For example, for example, the wall that you're on right now, the wall there, I don't know why it just disappeared. And then I tried to push pull again. And then just stop halfway.
Well,
I do.
sometimes what you can do is change your view. So for example, I might be trying to push pull this like this. It's hard for me to push pull this wall from this angle. So while I'm trying to push pull, I will change my view to a view that I can see better what I'm doing, you know, and see there, it cancel out there now.
Let me miss out again.
Well, I'm going to be here, so I don't know if, in case you meet up on other challenges, I will hang around, but we are working. We are working. Because as I say, you want to buck up on these things, you know, during today. So that's why I told the first group that if they meet up on anything challenges, make sure they jump in the second in this class, or you know, because after this, the next
Sir,
time I see you is when you'll be handing in the work.
you had a class this morning, sir?
Yes, I had a class this morning. What happened is that they worked at the front, and they and then I came in like a hour. Basically, when I had about an hour left, or hour and a half thereabout, and I did basically the same thing. So half of the class is working, and the other half is being available. So, or no, it wasn't even half, because I guess the only new thing we do today is knowing is a little bit of tips on how to come out of SketchUp the right way.
One more thing I don't remember to ask. So you get the glass at the front in a triangular frame. Because I drew double lines on the base, and then I pulled it up and straight to the roof, of course.
No, man, that's a harder way to do it, man. It's better you tackle it from an elevation perspective. And then you use the offset tool. So it would have been better you take like a front view like this.
You
and
mean
then
draw the pentagon with the pencil?
Right.
Oh.
Or you draw half, or rather, it would have been better you draw it. For example, let's say you draw something here. You see, I don't know what axis I'm in. See, I'm in a weird axis. Anyway, I'm gonna draw this part first. There we go. Good. And then I'm gonna start from the middle and draw up. And then I'm gonna connect this here. And then I'm gonna connect that here. Good. So what I'm saying is that I'll use my eraser tool. Where's the eraser tool? Where are you? Right. There we go. Good. All right. Forgot about the bottom. Is this autosave? Why is it doing that? Good. So if I had something like that, then what I would do now is use my offset tool, which is this tool right here. And then I would just offset like that.
Really?
Or what you could do is maybe it's best you draw the line down the center and then you offset it. But you can only offset something that is...
Before the offset tool.
Yeah, the offset tool is right here.
Oh my word. I did not know that. But okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. Right. So sometimes when you're modeling, you have to approach things a particular way to be more advantageous, right? For those of you who might go further into 3D modeling, when you start to create something that's a little more complicated, how you start the model will determine how easy it is to continue modeling. Put it that way. But as the good thing is that you guys are designers and architects, so we tend to see things in top view, front view, side view, section. So you can use that approach when you're trying to model. Take a like the Lego brick, imagine it in plan or elevation and go from there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing, the frames that you create around the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you do those? Because I tried doing it where made it a component, but it continues stuck into the entire drawing. And I moved the entire drawing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to worry about the frames being a second object, really. Because the frames are flush it's pretty flush with the roof. So for example, if you wanted to do a window like that, and then you wanted to do a frame, then why not just offset it and that's your frame? And you don't really need to go no further. I mean, you can push inside to get the window like that, but you don't need to like move it. It's stuck to the model, but you don't have to worry that it's stuck. It's okay as long as you can apply material to the frame different from the glass.
Okay.
Right? If you want to throw some special sauce in there, you could just push pull this a little bit so it give you a little lip, but you don't have to worry about it being stuck to the whole model.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a separate object.
So just offset it and make sure the middle can push and pull.
Right. Just make sure it looks like this and and it's a glass here and you see it inside. Yeah. I remember when I left school and I wanted to get more advanced with modeling, I took up the challenge to create a vehicle in 3D. And it's a combination of curves and straight lines and so it is the same kind of approach that was used, but it was a little more technical, but it's the same kind of approach. But you can think of it this way: if you can model something, you can create anything in 3D. And if you look at all those like phone advertisements and product advertisements, a lot of them is not photographs of the actual thing, They remake the thing in 3D, and because they remake it, they are not bounded by things in reality. They don't have to get a real camera or a real, they just have it in 3D. So it's an investment, if you can model it, you have the freedom of exploring it in every way, but you have to model it. And modeling, it comes with these, is just practice. The more you practice is the better you are able to do more complex models. I will carry some models to at the next lecture class and show you, just to kind of introduce you to modeling with other software. But SketchUp is like the beginning. And if you don't tear your head out with SketchUp, then you can move on to the other one. But you have to get to the stage where you're not tearing your head out to move on. Hey. Okay.
Why is someone asking bad boy?
Sir, if I enable the display adapter while using a mouse, while using a not the computer mouse, another mouse that is plugged into the computer or through Bluetooth, will the mouse still move slow?
What? It's the model is moving slow for you. That's why you're saying that.
Wait, sir, repeat that, please.
Is it that the model is moving slow?
No, not the model. The mouse on my computer. It's the same computer that fell, sir. And in order to use SketchUp, I have to enable the display adapter. So when I enabled it, the mouse is kind of sticky. It kind of stick here. Saying if I buy a mouse, will it have the same problem?
Yeah, it's not a problem with your mouse. It's a problem with the computer trying to keep up with what's going on along with the movement of your mouse.
Oh.
Yeah. Because when you disable it, it moves smooth, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Your video card can process so much things visually. What you can do though is that you can speed up SketchUp by going into Window, go to Preferences, I believe. Here we go. And where is it? OpenGL, here we go. You can turn down these settings, like set it to 0. What else can you do? I guess that is really all you can do. Yeah, set the multi-sample anti-aliasing to 0. And it not going to look so smooth on your screen. It going to look a bit choppy, but it should speed you up.
All right, and SketchUp. Oh, sir, you promised to answer my email.
I didn't.
And then you promised to answer the WhatsApp message.
Hold on, it's 2 different questions you asked me.
For over a month.
Hold on, what question did you ask me? About the computer?
Yes.
Right, and you showed me 2 options and I said this one hands down is the winner.
I didn't show you the option, sir.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, am I mixing you up with somebody else? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What question did you ask me? Hold on. And you see a lot of these things when they come up in my phone, you know, they just come up as numbers because I don't have the name. So you please just forward back to me the question that you asked.
Email or WhatsApp, sir?
WhatsApp.
right here. You can't see negative.
But what but we had a winner, didn't we have a winner? So why you wouldn't pick the one that is the winner? Send me a request. Yeah, do you remember which one is the winner? Let me send it to you.
I took some pictures, but I don't remember which one it was.
All right, let me send it to you. Hold on. How much did you earn? You earned 1 hour extra. 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, here it is. Is it this? Is it this? You can just, when I give you can just post it to the group as well, just in case anybody else is looking for. I sent it. Where is it? Okay. Aha. There we go. Come on. Hold on. This is second place. This is first place. Yeah. And there you go.
So first, second, third. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Just send that to everybody else.
Okay, no problem.
If only I was able to give you the computer as the prize for being first, huh?
Sir. Sir. Mr. Brian. Sir Brian.
Nope, I'm here. What's up?
All right, so in order for that thing to start working again, I would have to buy a new, what's it called?
No, hold on. You can't salvage nothing on that, you know. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
So it just dead for life now?
What is the spec of that laptop that you had?
I have no idea.
That was the second class. Come on. How much memory? What kind of video card? Remember we spoke about those?
So let me tell you what I'm seeing right now.
Mm-hmm.
About the display adapter, it says AMD Radeon HD 8400 R3 series.
What series?
R3.
R3. Okay. Yeah.
It's a core laptop?
Well, that is an integrated. Which one is the Radeon? R3. What is your processor?
R3 series AMD Radeon HD 8400.
Right. No man, that's a little. That's quite old. It's not very old. It's not very old, but the problem is that it's not a dedicated graphics card.
Oh.
Remember we talk about dedicated or integrated?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yep, I'm hearing you.
Oh, can I shoot from class?
If you can leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You finish your model?
I want to go work one.
Yeah, but sir, if you stay, if you have a problem, I can ask him, Christopher.
No, I'm not a problem.
You don't have no problem. All right.
Too much of a old up.
No problemo. You are free to go.
All right. Sir, so me WhatsApp you or call you when me have the issues tomorrow.
If I'm not in another class, okay.
This is the
All
Monday,
right,
right?
sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Monday, right, sir?
Pardon me?
This is the Monday, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And the handing is the handing is on the
What the fuck?
is on the handout.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to use my tape measure tool to get the roof windows, correct, right? And like, so it's on when I get it, it's on the plane, but it's not on the plane of the roof. It's on the plane in the air. So I don't know how do I correct that?
So you need to carry it across. You need how you say it now? Carry it on the axis that keeps you on the roof.
Okay.
Rather than going up in the air.
Okay. All right.
But sometimes what you have to do is you have to angle your view differently.
Right, I am but so what you're doing is it's snapping in the correct. It's in the correct. It's parallel to the roof plane, but when I change my angle again, it's no. So like the lines don't intersect. Like what I could say, you wouldn't get to draw it properly.
Hold shift. Once it's in the correct way, just hold shift, and that will lock you no matter where your view go.
Okay. All right. So let me try that.
Yeah.
Sir, you have to upload this, right?
Okay, I will. Is it popular demand? I want to upload on when it's popular demand,
Yes, sir.
Are you asking if you should upload?
Yeah, because we're in class and we take notes and everything, so we should be all right.
Sir, upload it, please.
All right, like how you ask, then I will upload.
Sir,
Thank
how,
you,
how
sir.
take notes on a practical class? That not really very helpful.
Still possible. Still possible.
But is it practical?
There might be other efficient ways. Let's put it that way.
Understood. So I have a question.
Okay.
So you say we can add entourage. Can we have entourage that like have like a little platform where you could walk to the entrance of the building?
Is that entourage?
I mean, now that looking at it, you basically have to like swim to the door.
So we have to go in that gray area now. I guess so. But I mean, why not just the traditional entourage?
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. I was just asking
Oh
if
yeah,
it could.
man, yeah, man, yeah, man. As long as you give me something that is like traditionally entourage. You know, you
Okay,
can put a deck on all these things. I see people do that, but I need a traditional entourage. Because remember, the thing with entourage is scale. I can see how you measure scale and those things. Is it?
right.
Mhm.
No problem. Thanks.
Sir, question.
Yeah.
How do you say we get the black shadow in SketchUp? Am I in gray?
In your shadow settings, see it here? You can adjust it here.
Oh.
Mhm.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. What's up?
Wait, class done?
Well, pretty much. I mean, I'm here if you need any help with anything, but not too
My
much
current
help
just go a while ago.
because it's an assignment.
My current just go a while ago. I immediately asked a question about the shadows. So you say
Oh,
the dark slider, you dial that back, but when you do that, the entire thing get blocked.
but kind of balance it with yeah, because the light is going to get darker too. I mean, it is a delicate balance. So what you can do is try to carry the light forward and carry the dark area backward and see these pop-ups. All right. All right.
All right, thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Williams?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. I just wanted to remind you that it's still recording in case you didn't want this part in there.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me about that, using up all of my hard drive space. So let me stop.